Hi everyone, this is Noli with Loopy Sheet Crochet and loopysheetcrochetblog.com. Today I just want to show you, now that you know how to make your single crochet stitch, I wanted to show you what else you can do with that little stitch. So today we're going to be making an easy crochet bow, and all you're going to be doing is the single crochet stitch. It's going to end up looking like this. And you're going to have a nice long tail so that you can put it on flip-flops, or you can put it onto a headband, beach bags. I mean, almost anything you can put this. A little hair clip looks really cute too. So all you're going to need for your bow is an H hook. You're going to need your scissors and your darning needle, and then just a little bit of the worsted weight yarn. I'm using the medium 4. You only need a little bit of it because it doesn't take that much. So looking at my pattern, I have your list of materials here. Today we're going to be using, in US terms, the chain, a single crochet. I'm going to show you how to do back loop only. And then I've also included a stitch count at the end of each row so that you can stay on track. This little pattern is only 6 rows long, so it's going to take you, maybe 20 minutes to complete it. So let's get started. We're going to do a slip knot on your hook, and then the pattern says to chain 12 plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then plus 1. That's our turning chain. Now we're going to single crochet back across. So of course, since you chained 1, you're going to forget this one and you're going to go to this next stitch. And when I'm working in my chain, I always like to go in just through that top loop. So I'm going to do a single crochet, and I should have 12 when I get to the end. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then my pattern says when you're done chaining, you're going to chain 12 and then plus 1 and turn. We did that. Single crochet across, chain 1 and turn. So I just did my first row of single crochet, and now I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And I like to kind of flip it so that my yarn stays in the back. Now to do the back loop only, it's pretty easy. Normally you would go through both of your V's. That's what they call them. Normally you would go through and you would have both your V's on top of your hook, which would be that big space right there. But to do back loop only, kind of tilt it so that you're looking at the top of your V's, and you're just going to go in just that one loop. And that's the loop that's farther away, the back loop. Tilt your work so you can see your V's, and then you're just going to go through that back one. And you're going to do that all the way across. Count your stitches as you go. You should end up with 12 at the end of every single row. Especially if you're new to crocheting, you want to make sure that you stay on track with how many stitches, because if not, you're going to start ending up with a trapezoid looking weird monstrosity. Okay. And then once we get to the end, I got hung up. Once we get to the end, we're going to chain 1 and turn, just as we have been doing. And we're just going to repeat this row, row number 2, until we get to row number 6. Okay, so here I go to my last one. There's my V's. Just going to go in my top loop or back loop only. All right, and then chain 1 and turn. Now keep doing that until you get to your 6th row, okay? And then once you can pause your video now. Once you get to your 6th row, come on back and I'm going to show you how to finish making your bow. All right, so now this is what it looks like when you finished your 6th row. You see these little ribs? It looks really cool when it's in the bow. Gives it a little texture. So now you finished your 6th row. We're going to finish off. To finish off, I chain 1 and then I cut my yarn and then I just pull it through. Okay. And I cut way too much, but that's okay. Okay, so you should end up with a weird rectangle with ribs on it that looks like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut a piece of yarn that's about 2 to 3 feet long. Yes, I said feet. So I'm just going to kind of count it out. 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, so I cut my yarn. Now I'm going to thread my darning needle, but I'm not going to put a knot in the end. Okay, so thread your darning needle. And like I said, I'm not going to put a knot in this end here. Pick up your weird rectangle. Let me see. I think I like, let me see, it's going to look like that. I think I want this side facing me because once we cinch it together in the middle, I think that is going to look a little better than that. So, okay, I'm going to take my darning needle and I'm going to try to find the middle. Okay, so it's approximately right there. And I'm going to just kind of put it up through the middle. With my fingers, I have my thumb on here, and then my other one is on the back, because I don't want it to poke through. I just want to be going through the middle of these stitches. Okay, so you're going to end up with your needle like that. Okay, and push it through. Okay, don't pull it all the way through, because remember, we don't have a knot at the other end. So I'm just going to pull it, pull it, pull it, until I have a nice little tail. Okay, this is my tail. Now I'm going to cinch it together. And I'm going to wrap just the tail. The needle is over here. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap this tail around. And that's going to get me started with my cinching. And it's also a good way to tuck in that end since you already have to weave in 2. Okay, so now your bow is looking a little bit more like a bow. Okay, now take the end that has your needle on it and you're going to wrap that also. You see this little end? You can see it poking. I'm going to tuck that in so it looks nice and neat. My tail's getting in the way. Okay, so keep wrapping that around. You can kind of straighten it out and see, you know, where you need to put more wraps. So I'm going to put a little bit more over here. Okay, that looks good. Now flip it over so that you're looking at the back side of your bow. Now using your needle, I want you to put it underneath your wrap. All right, and then poke it out the other side. So I put it under here and I poke it out over here. Okay, make sure you're still holding on nice and tight to your wrap. And pull that up. We're going to do it again. Just, you're going to want this to go over. Okay, so go back, under, poke it back out. This will secure it. Okay, you see how mine ended up like that? And then I like to go back this way, and now I'm just going to poke it up halfway. See how it's poking up right in the middle? And then pull it, and it's ready to sew onto whatever you want to sew it onto. Don't forget to weave in these ends the way that I weave in my ends. You may do it a different way, but since I already know that this is the back side here, I'm just going to weave it a little bit back and forth, making sure to go in a different spot and then out. And I do it 3 times. And then I snip my end. Same thing with this tail. Remember, keep your sewing tail nice and long. That's what you're going to sew your bow onto your beach bag or your headband or whatever. I'd love to hear what you put these on. I've put them on boot cuffs, I've put them on beach bags, I've put them on little girls' headbands. You can even tie them or hot glue them onto a hair clip or hot glue them onto a like a hair bow and elastic. And they look super cute. All right, so there you have a perfect single crochet bow, or 2. And they're ready to go with your tails. Thanks so much for stopping by, and make sure you check me out some more on loopysheetcrochetblog.com, or check out my finished items in my shop, which is loopysheetcrochet.com. Thanks for stopping by.